Are we live? I think we're live. This is... Oh wait, no, don't start that. This is going to be a very informal stream. We're in the midst of the quarantine. As you can tell, I've reached an apocalyptic stage. And the house is full of people, so it's gonna be background noise. I've been online for 2 seconds, and I've already seen spoilers everywhere, but I've blocked it out as much as I can, and it's told me that I need to play this immediately, so we're gonna do that. This is the last Pesterquest stream. Hopefully they'll give us something else to stream, although I'll find other things to fill in. There's a new song. That's good. Just go ahead now. What does that mean? That's not a big, character quote. Okay, here we are. That's a little loud. You've come a long way. You've made a lot of friends and managed to keep them all. You're helping them grow, and you're growing alongside them, while also entrenching yourself in some ridiculous nonsense along the way. Living, laughing, loving, shedding, farding. Is this a Joel stream? As is right and in balance, you think so anyway. You're still on the lookout for any specific bits of meaning to help nail down your sense of purpose as it careens every which way according to the whims of friendship and fancy. There is a natural flow to this all. Trolls in sets of 12, give or take, since some come in pairs as you think back to your first round of friends. Kids in sets of 4. You've had time to realize more about the Earths you've been hopping between. A kid on one is an adult on the other. It's been weirdly relieving seeing multiple versions of your friends. Not that you seem to be bound by any of the same rules that they are. It's just that as someone whose self has been scattered to the winds of time, regathered thanks to Aradia, and is still not fully stable, it's kind of nice to see that it's not just you out there trying different shit out, self-wise. When you think about the last friend left to visit in this set, you can't help but feel a bit guilty. With everything Jake told you about him, and from what you know of Dave's bro, you're not exactly meeting him with a clean slate. You haven't let anyone else's complicated personality traits hold you back from finding a way to befriend them, though, and you're not about to start now. You'll find a way to make it work. God, isn't it fun having such a complicated and nuanced tangle of interpersonal relationships within your friend group? Isn't it such a delightful challenge? Anyway, the point is that it's time to go meet Dirk. So you go. You don't know much about where he lives except that it's in the future, like Roxy minus chess guys. You zap on over what should almost definitely be the perfect distance from his door. There is a moment where you are weightless, suspended in midair like the cartoon Coyote Man, whose name you cannot remember because suddenly you are plummeting downward, and that takes all of your attention. From what you can see in flashes as you spin head over heels, the thing you are rapidly approaching is the ocean. Oh, whoa, look at that, it's cool. Before you achieve game over, before you even begin, you stall yourself with a zap in and out of reality, appearing just a few inches above the water. You land in with a delicate splash. Now that the imminent threat of death has passed, you look up. Metal rises from the water in a towering scaffold. Dirk must live in the building up there. God damn it. You haul yourself up onto the janky platform at the corner of the scaffolding a few above water rungs upward, and get your shit together. It's not much to look at. You probably wouldn't be able to spot it at a distance, but it'll do. In a moment you can pop up back to the top floor, but you should wring yourself out first. There's a chair, which is weird. You sit in it. That was a slick fucking trick. Not to steal my seat bit, though I do respect your presumptuous ass placement choices too. I'm in the entrance. Not safe. You whirl around, but there's no one there. Aside from the endless ocean, the only shit in sight is the sight up from the platform. Which, now that you're considering it, kind of reminds you of one of those outdoor man caves you sometimes see at rich people's houses. The kind where you don't know enough about electricity to get why rain doesn't just fuck the whole thing up. Except instead of like a grill and a TV and an ashtray with an old cigar in it, it's a few screens, a keyboard, a turntable, and a speaker. A couple of hoverboard-looking things, and some complicated aquatic equipment. Both situations contain a mini-fridge. Dirk? You say his name and hope he shows up. After Roxy, you really thought you weren't going to be bamboozled by another fake-out meeting, but who the fuck knows? Maybe this guy's a ghost. No, that's stupid. The one and only. Where is he? There's no need to get freaked out about it. I'm just talking through the speakers. Or, more accurately, I'm just sending data through a text-to-speech converter. Oh wait, I'm just sending data or more accurately, I'm just sending data through a text-to-speech converter. Who got Will from afar. There's no need to get freaked out about it. I'm just talking through the speakers. Or, okay, this isn't a function I've had occasion to dust off, so this is genuine and thrilling. Thank you for trying and failing so miserably to break and enter in pursuit of friendship, or whatever you were doing. Now, I'm not going to put it above Dirk to train a text-to-speech AI his own voice. For no reason. That's a Dirk thing to do. Oh, you know what? You do your best. Is there a place you'd want to meet, maybe, so you can all talk in meet space? That's a loaded phrase. That's not exactly my forte. Let's just keep chatting like this for a bit. Bro to bro. You can use the computer if the power of my voice is getting to be too much for you. This almost is for me, if I'm being honest here. From above is a metallic whirring sound. Whoa. Aw shit, Daddy's home. Is this Hal? You look up and Dirk is rappelling down the scaffold at an alarming speed. Oh, that was all autoresponder. Oh, come on. The jig is up, so we might as well wrap this shit up. Dirk swings in, landing with both feet on the platform. He straightens and stares at you, chin up. While you think he's staring at you, he's wearing shades, which you expected. It's been real, but don't worry, I won't be far. I never am. Neither Dirk's hands nor his mouth are moving, but his voice is still playing over the speakers. Your smile is nervous and probably too full of teeth. What's going on? So you're the friendable alien I've heard about. I thought for a moment you already ate it, but I see you Peter Pan that shit. I'm not unimpressed. He says this the regular way with his mouth. It should put you at ease, but it is not. Does he not remember talking about that already? You told him it's nice to talk face to face that you thought he didn't want to a minute ago when you first met. Oh, that wasn't me. Oh, you thought, wait, what, it wasn't? No, you just met a divergently evolved copy of my 13-year-old brain. The use of the speaker system is new, but it makes sense as he'd up his game for interfering with relationships I'm busy forging in 3D. I guess I should go ahead and be proud of him for it. Well, damn, okay. You guess you have no reason to believe that's not possible since, wait, did he say relationships he's been forging? Isn't that your whole thing? I was under the impression you were here to befriend me. My friends haven't exactly kept quiet about you. I just figured you were saving the best for last. Oh, thanks for the follows. Blitzkrieg 7 Bop and CG Cake. I usually have notifications. I don't know why they're not going off. Window capture, display, alerts. Yeah, alerts is turned on. I'll look into that for the next stream. Thank you. My friends haven't exactly kept quiet about you. I just figured you were saving the best for last. Oh, no, that's right, that is your thing. You just thought you might be more of a challenge. Wait, are you friendship nagging him right now? Is that what's happening? How did it come to this? Well, hold on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh, then never mind, I guess it's where, oh, look at him, he's adorable. Might as well roll with it. Don't half-ass this one just because you know the gig. I still expect you to friend-woo the shit out of me. Blitz the fuck out of my friendship chakra till I see the universe's heart through its... what have you. Buddy, you've been around the friendship block a time or two. He has no reason to worry. You have the full confidence in your ability to show him the friendship time of his life. Oh, I'm ready. I have a list of my deepest secrets ready to unload on you right here, right now, if you think you can take it. He sure has taken a big game of preparedness, but you're not sure how true it all is. Every line of muscle in his body is held in excruciating plasticity. You've never seen a jaw so purposefully unclenched. It's almost as like he's begging you to call him on it. You do not call him on it. You're not sure how you get the idea that you could half-ass this of all things? You'll just prove it to him with your deeds. It seems like that might be his love language. With that in mind, you hold your fist out for him to bump. Ah yeah, Daps, the universal signal of brohood. Sacrosanct across all space-time. You'd be honored to give him his first. The corner of his mouth twitches. Not quite a smile. What kind of monster would I have to be to refuse you? Oh. There it is. There it is. Oh, yes. You do the thing. If he is having a moment about having touched another person for the first time, he isn't showing it, which is fine. Each their own pace, right? So now that we got that handled, what's next on the agenda? Do we leap straight into the heartfelt Q&A, or are we doing an activity first? Man, what should you do next? You're not used to friends giving you the third degree about your process. There's a lot of step. You can't tell if he's genuinely curious or if he knows he's unbalancing you. Either way, it's intense. You look around for inspiration. Grilling? Nah, you're not a couple of dads. Oh, the high-tech scuba gear could be cool. The tingle of choice pricks at your neck. I'm not sure you have the musculature to hold that up, no offense. I didn't have your literal stick figure proportions in mind when I designed it. It's built more for looks than weight efficiency, so I don't think you'd last long in it. You're not missing much, though. It's not particularly thrilling down there anyway. Oh, good point. You can totally... What was that? Was that little Seb? You could totally see yourself sinking like a stone, flailing your... Oh no, he's seeing a vision of the bad ending that would have led to. A vain attempt to try and look cool while swimming, clawing at the metal clasp to free yourself. Zapping out as a last resort, but misjudging distance due to the distracting water in your mouth. It all going black as you wonder why you didn't learn better when you hung out with Pfeffery. What? Damn, that was a pretty detailed thought trail. Weird. Anyway, you could just hang out at his place instead. A classical option. That works for me. You hold your hand out to zap him alongside you, but he doesn't take it. I'll meet you there. His inflection tilts up at the end, a sound shaped like half a question he wants you to construe the meaning of for yourself. What's the alternative? You piggyback ride as he climbs all the way up? He shrugs. Yeah, if you're up to it. I typically rocket board up, but a grueling climb is as good a way as any to kill a morning, so either way. You consider your options. As much as you want to see if he actually has it in him to beast you up the entire tower, rocket boarding sounds infinitely more fun. A country accent for Dirk, yes. I've used that accent in a few things since last year. I like it. Hop on then. Chew! Oh, look at that. Oh, he's so dreamy. He kicks it into place and fires it up, offering you his hand. You don't have anything to lose but another life, so you take it. Steadily, but fast enough that you have to cling to his shirt for safety, you fly upward. He circles the tower a few times, in no hurry to make it to the top. That, or he's showing off? You don't think that's it, but you're still working it out. The confidence in his way his body moves now, the subtle shifts in weight to steer the machine. It all feels genuine. Like this is much more comfortable thing for him than the conversation was. The wind whips your face. There is a sea in every direction. You land on the top of the tower and he waits for you to hop down before doing the same, and then he kick-flips the rocket board into quiescence. Here we are, home sweet home. I hope you're prepared for just how homey this shit is too. I've had nothing but time to flex my massive decor muscles. You follow him inside into his room, like you have with everyone else. It's full of his shit like everyone else. Unlike everyone else, he leans against his workbench, calm and collected, and clearly, with every fiber of his being, waiting for your judgment. You wonder if it's weird how you can tell about him, since it doesn't seem like he's putting a lot of effort into the facade. You aren't sure if he's unpracticed at having an audience, or if you're just extra good at reading people by now. Maybe it's the shades that are messing with you? They're nothing new after Dave, but with Dirk it's almost like he'd be less penetrable without them. You try and focus on the decor, as he clearly wants you to. What do we got going on? Okay, there's themes of puppets, horses, robots, and musical equipment. It's got the post-ironic whimsy of Dave's style, which you figure makes sense considering this universe's Dave had a hand in stalking it. But with a stock of Equius's unabashed taste. It's a bit of a surprise, but sure. Martha Stewart would fall to her knees weeping at her defeat, you tell him. Utterly destroyed by the feng shui in my cinder block placement. She'd retire on the spot, you say. The more you play off his jokes, the more he seems to loosen up for real, so you continue. Much better than a scuba trip already. What's down there anyway? The ruins of a 21st century civilization, mostly. Oh, shit, yeah, boring as hell. He pauses and tilts his head, considering. I wouldn't call him boring, necessarily. It's more that I find it cosmically frustrating to swim in literally any radial line and find nothing but the wasted leftovers of a dead city. Aside from being dependent on it as a source of food, the ocean mostly functions for me as a suffocating and inescapable natural barrier between me and the rest of human history. It's a constant, overlapping reminder of my situation, so I'm not often hyped to pile the decibars on. Not sure how well my deep personal beef with the imagery of the sea will land for you, but there it is. I think it might not be so offensive to me were the metaphor less blatant, it's embarrassing. Anyway, that's the first of my layers off. Feels fresh. Let's keep going, what else you got? It's a little unsettling how direct he's being about the friendship building process, but it's not like you haven't been categorically pushy to achieve that title with literally everyone you have memory of having met, so fair game. You're sure you can come up with some things you've been curious about if he's ready to dive in the deep end and if you'll forgive the continued aquatic figurative language. The love quadrangle, the questionable settings on the robotic gift choice for his would-be paramour, the differences of opinion on playing the game. He seems to be enjoying the theatricality of the friendship metagaming and dance you're doing, so you amp it up for him. You clasp your hands behind your back and pace his room as you monologue, pausing for effect as the impulse strikes you. As you talk, you consider which would be the right issue to end on, to really zing him into opening up. Maybe his feelings about this universe is Dave? Or, just fun, maybe where the horse shtick comes from. Depending on what you choose, you could end up, loath as I am to interrupt this Ace Attorney monologue, I wouldn't touch that. You place down at where you're about to dramatically place your hand, and there's a goddamn sword there. There's a goddamn, he too big for he goddamn boots. His gamer chair. As a Texan from the big city, you gotta work on, I don't think it's a Texan accent, I think it's a Dirk stranded in the apocalypse fake Texan accent. Haphazardly stored in the hands of some dead-eyed puppet. Again, your brain careens down a fleeting pathway. Accidental pressure, a clean slice, blood, a lot of it, and leave the katana for the big boys. Although if you want to touch a weapon, holy shit do I have an idea. Dirk! 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 No, oh my god! He scoots by you and reaches into the corner of the room, coming up with a really shitty blue sword. Sword is a loose oh my god, look at that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And honestly, holding his too, an object so shitty you can barely focus on it is sort of clipping through his hands. He holds it out to you the best he can. Take the sword. In the name of the succulent convergence of science and horseshit, I need to see what happens when you touch this thing. You reach out and take it from his hands. It steadies under your grasp. Dirk hops up to his workbench to sit and observe, and you slice it through the air a time or two. Oh! Absolutely goddamn incredible. Something about your narrative limidity and rudimentary form must allow you to actually wield this piece of shit artifact I inherited from my bro. That is amazing. Have a sword because you're epic. That reminds me of the Dave playthrough I did. I played through the whole volume with the screen like that, if you didn't know, because it leaked early and I didn't want to give away all the assets, but I wanted to stream it early. I put JPEG artifacts all over the screen. The implications of this are likely jack fucking nothing, but it's still easily the best thing I've ever seen. So are they setting up the sword as the MSPA reader's Juju Breaker? It's the opposite of the crowbar, which is the serious Midnight Crew destroy the clocks. This thing just messes up the story when you wave it around. He's leaning forward, laughing, dimples carved into his freckled cheeks. There's a small twist in your heart about it, and you can't place why. You're really just able to hold that fucking thing. He clears his throat and settles down, adjusting his glasses. Thanks for that. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. You were attempting to locate my weak points. Did you want to keep adding to the list, or zero in on one option? So far, the short answers are 1. A quartet of teams with not a lot of choices, what do you expect? 2. Call up my autoresponder if you want us to hash that one out. Or 3. It's all under your control. You guess it boils down to the same general topic, really. His friends, that's where this whole thing always ends up anyway, right? Especially since you're his pathway to being able to hang out with them right now. Dirk just shrugs. Huh. You'd have thought he'd have a stronger opinion about that one. Doesn't he want to hang out with his friends? Doesn't he want to finally meet Jake? He wrinkles his face like you've shut a lemon in his mouth. Come on, dude, you can't just spirit me away to the person I want to see the most right off the bat. At least make me try to earn it first. He shifts his weight. The light from the window bounces off the choppy mirror of the ocean, is bright against his back. Does he have to earn it? Do you mean, doesn't he think it's been hard enough already? His laugh this time is hollow. Is there a cap on that? You're not sure, but if your whole existence is a series of cheat codes, so what else does he expect from you? You whip the sword around a few times to prove your point, but it kind of makes you dizzy to watch, so you put it back in the corner. And anyway, you know he'll cave at some point. How else is he gonna get to see them, and now that the game is off? He shrugs again. What? What? He does know they're not playing anymore, right? Like, they're not even talking about a larger operation to shut the whole thing down for everyone on the planet? I know they think it's what's happening, but I'm not worried about it. They'll all play when the time comes. How in the world does he know that? Last you checked with any of them, they had all moved on. I haven't got around to convincing them yet, but I will. It's clear that you've spent a lot of time with them, but they're my friends, too. I think I know what they'll do. His dismissiveness is raising your hard-to-raise hackles. That's not really the point, though, you say. Won't trying to get them back on board just amp up the conflict in his friend group? And more importantly, why bother trying to make that choice for them? He doesn't even need the game anymore. You can just take him to see them. He can skip the machinations and just, hang out with his friends without having to prove anything to anyone. It's easy. The slight tightening of his eyebrows is the only thing that shows his frustration. The rest of him is still. The vowels in his drawl are slick and sharp. Black ice on a curved country road. See, I told you. It's a country voice. It's a country voice. It's not that simple. Do you think I don't want to see him? Do you think I'd tear off a single page off my Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff quota-day calendar without thinking about that? There are a lot of cards and hands in there. Country roads, take me home. There are a lot of cards in a lot of places here, which I'm not sure you're truly appreciating the importance of. I can't just fold mine and hope your shit works out instead. Things are in motion. Things have been in motion since before I was born. You can't just stop them without a massive fallout. Yeah, you're not sure you know all the answers, just that you know some of them, and you feel like he could trust you just a little bit. He looks at you like you've slapped him. Trust you? Well, yeah. A weak puff of air leaves his mouth as he shakes his head. This entire morning has been an exercise in trust. Has it? Dirk is still for a minute. He's probably still staring at you behind those shades. When he speaks again, his voice is steady, but the room is heavy with every ounce of tension he's been suppressing. Okay. Oh, hi, Keck. Let's sketch this out. What are the parameters of vulnerability that would count if the ones I'm extending don't? You were just freewheeling there, but you guess you gotta come up with something concrete for him. Okay, how's this? How does all this dangerous scuba diving and sword fighting and rocket boarding shit that could go sideways at any moment, but he wouldn't even let you zap him? There's an example. Oh, okay, yes, that's true. I want to be the only one in charge of endangering my own life. You got me. But trust isn't only meaningful if it's given completely, or in terms of physical safety. I've been preparing myself for this, for you, ever since I heard you were making the rounds. I was ready to... Sprites have been posted, not... I saw sprites that look like they came from the epilogue. If it's not the epilogue, then I'm just excited because there's even more stuff. But I have seen spoiler sprites. He trails off shaking his head. His wordlessness seems to frustrate him more than anything you've said. He seems really unpracticed at getting riled up, and you wonder how often someone pushes his buttons like this. You're not really sure how the two of you have got to this point. Argumentative isn't your main mode either, and you can tell you've pushed too far. Never mind. Here. He hops off the workbench, rolls his shoulders, and grabs your hand. Take this Dunky Donut, because you're epic. Do it. You don't ask where, you pick somewhere close by, but scary enough for his thrill-seeker ass to feel like it was worth the effort. The air at the top of the tower on Dirk's roof is calmer than you thought it'd be. Oh, this is cool. He drops your hand and steps back, leaning against the landing. Crushed it. See, sometimes trying new shit and trusting people with all your well-being can be fine. Sometimes all you need is a friend to prove to you that they have your back. Dirk scrunches up his face like you're embarrassing him. You mean, empirically speaking, it seems like what happened is just solid proof that... Oh yeah, I get it, thanks. He's smiling, so you don't push into that thank you, but you do wonder after a minute of looking out at the ocean with him, if it's time to scoot things along. You aren't in a hurry, really, but you were getting somewhere before. Even if it was a little uncomfortable. He's trying. Maybe harder than anyone has actively tried to prevent you yet. The fact that you think that is still sort of funny to you, but maybe Dirk isn't this transparent to everyone. Maybe it's just you and your non-stop thirst to know people. How much has this boy wanted to be known? You remember your earlier skepticism about him and laugh at yourself. You haven't had to make yourself try to like him at all, you just do. Weird, uptight shit and everything. There's a lot of Dirk going on in there, but you're ready to try and understand him more. That's what you do. So you press on. Finally a choice. Should we try one more time to convince him to drop the idea of playing the game, or give it a rest? I'm going to tell him to stop playing Suburb. Oh. It doesn't work? Holy shit, this is excruciating. Here comes epilogue, Dirk. I keep thinking if I ignore this bullshit, it'll sort itself out, but Christ, I don't need this. No one needs to see this. What the fuck? Huh? Wait, can you not hear? Dirk's really embarrassed by his 16-year-old self. Wait, can you not hear? You've stopped the choice train once before yourself, but you've never been interrupted by someone else. I thought we were having a chill bro moment until just now. I have no clue what you're talking about. I can't believe I was... This is supposed to be all cool and epic, Dirk stepping in to destroy his younger self, but all I can think of is the Emperor's New Groove bug and the monkey. That's it. That's the only thing on my mind. Dirk, you had all day every day to do nothing but get swole in both body and mind, and this is how you spent your time? Looking wistfully out at the sky? Now that's meta. We're going... I mean, it's not meta for anyone but me, but Dirk wistfully looking at the sky... That's meta. No wonder you're out here falling for this friend simp. This friend simp's weak shit overtures. Oh my god, what? Once again, you find yourself looking around for a Dirk who is nowhere to be found. Regular Dirk, who you were finally getting somewhere with, is looking at you like you've lost your marble. Dirk really doesn't hear that? It sounds like him, just like older and meaner. Nah, dude, are you okay? Fine, if your meager little brain needs to assume corporeal form in order to process this, I'll do it. Oh, whoa, that's cool. That's a cool effect. Oh my god, he's a hunk! Look at that! He's a beast. Look at those arms! Oh. Feast your eyes, Dirk log. Oh, this is great. Holy shit. Holy shit. Sup, Dirk? I'll get to you in a minute. I have to deal with this little meddler first. He turns to you and you step back reflexively. Why is he so swole? Why is he so swole? He turns to you and you step back reflexively. Your eyes flicker to your Dirk, who's staring mouth slack at his older self. Oh no, he's hot. He wrote himself to be swole. Yeah, I'll take that. He came up with the context that he could have gotten swole on the ship, so it's believable that he's swole, so thus he is swole. Mom says it's my turn on the Xbox, 16-year-old Dirk. I let you piss around for far too long. To be fair to myself, which is important, I've had a lot on my plate. Creating a whole species from scratch isn't child's play. Is that a hint? I mean, we're gonna find out in the next 45 minutes in this arc. But my theory was that MSPA Reader is the species that he makes for Deltritus. And he is made from scratch. So... So I let this go on, figuring you'd fuck up and die for real, but you keep coming back, and it's getting out of hand. So the plan is this. Let my man Dirk do his thing, you fuck off, and let people live their arcs. I clean up this mess and then get back to being God, while this timeline continues on as it's supposed to. Are we good? Jesus, alternate timelines, multiple selves aren't anything particularly new to you, you think, but you still don't know what got so far up his ass here. No, we're not good? You are in the middle of something, a sacred rite of friendship to be fucked up by no one other than yourself. You don't know what kind of stuff the future holds, but that isn't your purview. This is, and he's the one interrupting that. Oh my god, I can't work like this. You have to understand the scale we're working with. He flicks you upside the temple and you feel instantly like your brain got strapped to the nose of a rocket ship on liftoff. Sound, MSPA Reader, remember. What is this gonna be? How serious are we getting here? You see a young man standing in his bedroom. What is this song? It's just like 10 Homestuck songs overlaid. Wait, you know him! Oh my god. I see Pony Pals, I see the Ouija, I see some ancestors. That's great. The epilogues. Your eyes roll back in your head and you feel the story rush into you, panel by panel, page by page. Some of it you remember when you were trapped in Doc Scratch's apartment. Other stuff is newer, raw and sweet and sickening. Honks and caws and glubs and blahs froth together in a synaptical transmutation of an unholy cultural zeitgeist that jolts through you like light blasting down your cerebral cortex and out through your clenched teeth. When it's done, you collapse to the floor. Oh, fuck. You remember it. You remember Homestuck. It's all so fresh, too. So many of your friends dead. Some of them more than once. Shit. Dirk! You open your eyes and Dirk is standing over you, his hand on your shoulder. Oh, good. You're alive. You were starting to freak me out. Almost as much as shredded and deranged me over there is freaking me out, but he'd let this just all take a step at a time. Anyway, now that you're up, what just happened? Future me was being all real cryptic dick while you were conked out? Patience is a virtue, Dirk. I just had to get out of our time-traveling buddy informed first so they can make the right call. Shit, okay, you don't even know where to begin. You look at Dirk's face, not even trying to hide his concern for you, and holy shit, you care about him. You cared about him before, you knew every tiny fucked up detail with his life, and now with the reminder of where this story leads to, leans smugly against the railing, you find you still do. He's intense and pushy and profoundly complicated, and right now he's helping you to your feet, his hand steady and firm on your back as you find your balance. You look back and forth between the two of them, trying to organize your thoughts as Dirk waits for you to respond. This isn't as simple as an evil Dirk and a good one. If you've learned anything from your travels, it's that everyone has the capacity for hurt inside them, and everyone has the capacity for love. It's just a matter of proportion, of choice, of circumstance, of time, and if you're being fair, of interpretation, too. Part of you wants to grab Dirk and run, to save him from this trajectory he's on, but then, if you claim that level of control, are you really any better than Ultimate Dirk is himself? Who the fuck are you to make these choices for other people? What gives you the right to wrench canon from the people it belongs to? The people it's about? Why does it always come back to you making a choice? Go ahead and answer him. I'll correct you if you get anything wrong, don't worry. Oh, you bet he will, you say. No doubts there. You pause your eternal debate, take a deep breath, and explain things to your friend. This is the Mega Dirk, the combo of all splinters of Dirk, fermenting in his flesh container and not holding on to his shit nearly as well as he likes to pretend. Ultimate Dirk tisks. You wish. You ignore him and continue explaining. Ultimate Dirk has done a lot of heinous shit to people who he used to care about, to the people Dirk cares about. And he just brain blasted you with memories you used to have of, among other things, everything that will ever happen to Dirk and his friends in the future, all in order to convince you to keep everything on that path. He wants the same thing Dirk just finished arguing with you, wanting a future where they play the game. Dirk is still staring at Ultimate Dirk. Shit. You keep going, telling him you know it might be far-fetched from this vantage point, but this is a path he goes down. Dirk finally speaks. No, I can see it. I mean, if anyone was going to pull an I'm you but stronger, it'd be me, of all me, combined. Exactly, so now we should all be on the same page vis-a-vis what we need to do. Which starts with the flat fuck going back to wherever the fuck they came from, and the rest of us going back to our regularly scheduled program. Sometimes I skip F words, and sometimes I accidentally add more. God, you can't even look at this guy, you think, as you looked at him. He's so smug, trapped so far down the path he's planned for himself, that he can't even entertain the idea that he could be wrong without it tearing him apart. The more you look at him, the more you can't stand him. Prince of hard-ass bastard, destroying everything you work to make. Forget all that stuff you worried about before. How dare you let yourself be convinced he could be right? Your allegiance is not to the story, but to the people within it, no matter what. Wait. Your allegiance is not to the story, but to the people within it. Let's see where they're going with this. Do you have a plan for how to protect your friends without the tenets of canon? No. Do you give a single shitting fuck? Also, no. You know he could end you immediately, but you feel freed by the number of times you've died. You do not fear him. He's not your concern. You turn to Dirk. You're sorry, you say, but fuck this guy. Don't listen to him. Everything you just remembered, all the stuff he was using to prove his point, it only makes you even more sure of what you said before. But Dirk can still be happy without all that. He doesn't have to play the game to beat it. Wow, listen to them trying to boss you around like that, Dirk. I'll tell you what you don't do. Don't for a second think I'm too far gone to remember what it's like to be you. Don't pretend you ever wanted to know what I know, to align every part of yourself until you know it all, feel it all. Don't be afraid of becoming who you need to become. Some loaded words there. The end always justifies the means, Dirk. We know this. Fuck that, you're starting to yell. You never yell this much, but fuck that. This bitch can't even bear the thought of a timeline existing without his influence, or even his worldview that everything has to be painful to matter. Things are already painful enough. He doesn't have to work overtime to create more pain just so he can feel like he's in control of how much punishment he gets and how badly he deserves it. Because Dirk doesn't deserve it, you say, and you look at the one that you meant it for. He's not looking back at you. He's looking at Ultimate Dirk, and there's something about the soft, fallen arch of his eyebrows that just folds you up and eats you whole. It's longing like you've never seen in your life, deep and consuming with a silver glint of loathing. He's going to drown in it if you don't do something. What could you do, you wonder? You care about him, and he does about you to a degree. You know Dirk now, and you know how he loves. Though it's fierce to a definite fault, he does not do it easily. You're not the one who can get him through this. He hasn't known you long enough, but you can be a bridge. Come on, bring Roxy. But to whom? Part of you wants to test a few things. To throw a couple of friends at the wall and see what sticks. That doesn't sit right with you right now, though. It's messy. And you know Dirk would hate having his feelings experimented on like that. Even after all this, you find yourself not wanting to do that to him. Thank fuck for your side ability to animate monologue to yourself in your head without time passing too quickly, because you really need to think this one through. You have to pick up one single person to help convince him he doesn't need what Ultimate Dirk is offering. Jake? Oh god, no, not right now. He'd be eaten alive by Ultimate Dirk, and you can't do that to him. He's your friend too. Maybe a wild card, someone Dirk doesn't know but could get along with? Equius? He's like Dirk if Dirk liked to get bossed around, so they might get along great. Actually, though you need someone who can tell Dirk what to do in this moment, so then again, maybe not. You can't hedge your bets and bring everyone, because that just overwhelm him. Plus, there's no budget or time for that. The answer punches you hard in the chest, and you're about to sneak away to find them, when Ultimate Dirk speaks up. That was a tough rant you just gave, very compelling. You know what? Fine, do your best and choose. Steal him away to obscurity or leave him to this destiny. I'm not worried. In fact, as a show of trust in my younger splinter, I'll even fuck off myself until go time. On the 1 in a million chance you actually do get him to go with you, and there's no way there's not going to be a good end, we all know he'd regret it. He'll second guess if it was the right thing every day of his life until he realizes what a flaccid existence he's living, but by then it'll be too late. Do your worst. There's a jolt, and then he's gone. I like how he turns into the sketch. That's great. There's a beat of silence where you try to work out how to act normal, now that you know what you know, but thankfully he speaks first. Are all your hangouts as buck wild, or did you really pull out all the stops for me? Well, you were about to pull out another when Ultimate Dirk blasted off like that. It's not too late, though, if he'll agree to at least hear you out. Well, then by all means, continue pulling. Let's see where this takes us. You'll be right back, you tell him. I'll be right here just chilling and contemplating existence and my place in it. No worries. Oh, okay, so this is what I saw. I thought this was epilogue. But if there's more after the Dirk route, I'll be very surprised. So that's the clock tower, which I thought we were almost making a point to never show visually that there was no canon form of the clock tower, because the clock tower is such a beacon of narrative relevance, just seeping with action, that it couldn't be shown. But there it is, and it's pretty much exactly how I imagined it. This whole scene is. There's the tree that Rose and Kanaya stand under. I really like how Earthsea looks. Even though this is the Carapace Kingdom, and I like how you can still kind of see some cans in there, but it's taken on a regular civilization over 5,000 years. Ross and Kenyon. I heard Dave and Karkat haven't stood next to each other in 15 minutes. The zap this time is even more disorienting than your sideways universe zaps. You know why, though, since you know everything. You're not sure what you're supposed to do here, but Ultimate Dirk hasn't accused you of fucking shit up, so why not fuck shit up a little harder? So are we gonna grab Candy Dirk right before he kills himself, and just throw another Dirk in there? Canterlot from ML. Okay, I could see that too. You want to go pick up this person, and specifically this version of this person. The version you made friends with already isn't ready to meet Dirk yet, probably. Oh no, are we getting Meat Roxy? Who would we grab? Who would we grab? I'd grab either Meat Roxy or Candy Dirk. But thanks to your recent mind freak, you remember that this one, having lost his Dirk, might be a little more interested. Oh, lost his Dirk. So is this... Oh. Ooh, this is Candy Dave? It's Candy Dave or Candy Jake. Either of which is gonna be very weird. Oh my god! It's old Candy Dave! Look at him! He's got stubble, he's hanging out in a hoodie. This is Dave at his peak, inner homophobia. He's so scared to come out to himself. He eventually comes out to Obama in his timeline. He looks like a middle-aged uncle. God. Oh my god. And he's in the What Pumpkin zip-up god tier hoodie, not his regular one. Transition goals. Whoa, what? Who the fuck are you? Okay, that answers that question. You guess you fucked things up to the point the Candy timeline is not the same one as you were making friends in before? This is probably the stuff Ultimate Dirk has been out of shape about fixing. Oh, well, but is what it is. You didn't have time to come up with your elevator pitch, but you work at full power to... Look at that. Look at that look on his face. No thoughts, head empty. This is the Dave who's been married to Jade. Who's watching Carcat drift away. Hey, you tell him, sorry to intrude, but you have a pretty big favor to ask of him. You know he doesn't know you, but you know an alternate version of him that lives outside of canon. You met and went to Olive Garden and made friends, and you promise you're legit. Bro, you said Olive Garden, you got me. That's like a magic word to get me to trust you implicitly. Don't spread that around, though. Also, you look like someone ironed the mayor, so that's like a million more points in your favor. And I'm doing dick else, that's useful all day. Or any day, be real with you. So what's the favor? Oh, woo, great. The favor is that you need to borrow him for like a quick minute so he can help you have a conversation with your universe's Dirk. At the sound of Dirk's name, he goes still. See, Dirk's convinced he needs to take the advice of yet another universe's way worse Dirk and retcon your whole friendship mission so that they can go off and make canon happen, which ends pretty badly for a lot of people, your friends, involved. Now that you know that, you really want him to just side with Hugh and let everyone chill and hang out and live their lives, and you're not sure of all the details about how that will work yet, but the point is that Dirk... I'm in. Great, sick, yes, okay, you take his hand and off you go. I'm not sure if Candy Dave would go. Maybe this is a lot later Dave, who's have been ruminating on things, but Dave, right off the funeral, told John that he did not want to travel back in time to Dirk, because it would be taking away Dirk's free will. When you pop back, Dirk is standing how he was when you first met him, casually braced for emotionally fatal impact. There's a moment where Dirk and Dave just stare each other down, like neither of them are fully ready to register the reality of the other. You really hope this works, because it's your Hail Mary. Sup? Holy fuck, man, I didn't think invoking the name of Olive Garden would have this much effect, but here the fuck we are. I mean, sup. Yeah, sup. Aww, look at them. They should have gave Dave the e-boy earrings. Dave pulls him into a short, back-thumping bro hug, which Dirk weathers like a wet cat, but not trusting a towel to dry him off. We're doing it, bro. We're making this happen again. So. I'll be real with you, we have already had a version of this first meeting convo, and we used like a lightning round conversational mechanism to get shit poppin', but I get the feeling we don't have time for all that right now, so I'll skip a few steps for you. Our little mutual friend here says you got options. Well, they seem to think I do, but I'm not convinced. Do you have any opinions about it? Sure do. I mean, I'd do anything for little pals just after they just told me what they did for me, but like, what's even the situation? They don't want you to play suburb or some other you does? There's a little more to it than that, but yeah, that's the gist. You watch them chat. This is good, you think. Good, but you're not sure it's enough. You think Dirk is your friend now, but the more you think about it, the weirder the word feels in your brain. Friendship means something different to everyone you've met. Safety, fun, a wake-up call, a person to talk to. You hope that for at least some of them, you've helped them see what is lovable inside themselves. You look at Dirk and wonder if you'll be one of those. He's being so polite to Dave. He must be afraid. And does Dirk even believe others can, of their own volition, love him? You tune back in. Man, if you wanted to argue about canon, you should have asked your bro to get here like everyone else to come along. That's just not my forte, but it seems to me that it's not some immutable bastion of narrative sanctity. Just some shit some assholes did and some choices they made. Okay, well, if I don't follow the plan, beat the game, and get to where you are now, how do I know my choices will still matter? I don't know, man. You're not on my timeline anymore because of a choice you made a while back, so my mileage might vary a bit. Dirk shifts backwards. You wish he'd look a bit more surprised about it. Oh. Yeah. I don't want to waste your time or anything. Just getting to talk to you is worth it, so I don't know what you gotta do to, like, you're coming from me. Guy who could have done some stuff differently himself. At least, try to trust your friend. I know you don't like believing this stuff, but maybe listen to the people who like you for you, because they mean it. I'm rambling now, so I guess if I had one thing to say, it'd just be... It's okay to not have all the answers. Yeah, that's what I'd tell you. Dirk nods. So I'm processing that. A lot. But I also cannot go any further in this conversation without telling you that our little friend is liminal enough to actually be able to hold the sword. Oh, holy fuck, yo, what? Oh, wow. Dave, huh? Okay, bringing guns to a knife fight here. I didn't expect this level of underhanded maneuvering from you, but I'll respect the play. It doesn't matter anyway. I've come back with my own cheat. Sorry for the delay. I had to deal with some shit on my end. New plan. Forget us all going our separate ways to fix shit. Dirk, you're coming with me. Your friend was right about one thing. Things don't need to go back to the way they were. But not for any lame reason like the power of love. I have plans for that. I'll promise you this limp dick excuse for a friend doesn't measure up to all that shit I could show you, but we'll show you. Sure, it might hurt to leave your friends behind at first, and sure you'll miss out on Jake's carnal charms, but that emptiness will fade when you realize the true power we have. Ultimate Dirk extends his hand. His cape billows up obnoxiously behind him. Dirk looks at you, and then at Dave. Shit, they were almost there. You have no time left to waste. You close your eyes and will the choice to come to you. Stop him, don't stop him. One of those has to work, right? You don't feel confident. You look at Dirk and it hits you. Ultimate Dirk was maddeningly right. It won't work if there's room for Dirk to regret it. You're not sure either of you would be certain it was the right choice unless you let Dirk choose it for himself. No more telling him what to do. No more telling anyone what to do. When you feel the choice pricking at you, you turn it outward. You flip the power in your belly inside out and give the weight of it up for a moment to him. You wait to see what Dirk does with the thing warring in him. Trust yourself, trust them. You see it manifest in his brain and yours, and your stomach plunges. It feels rigged from the start. There's no way Dirk will choose you and Dave when he's gone and frame it like that. God damn it, too late to change anything for yourself, you wait for Dirk to choose. So I choose for Dirk? That seems counterproductive. Don't end like one shot here. I like the Unite synchronization for this part, it's good. I want Dirk to trust himself. Even though this feels like the end of one shot, where the character's given a choice, but it's really the player still, so the meta doesn't work. Dirk turns to you, apology already in his face. No. No. You can tell where this is going and you hate it. So it's not you, it's me. Is levity helpful? Probably not, but I'm doing my best. It's not that this hasn't been a good time. I didn't expect to achieve this level of metatextual mind freak during our hangout, but I've really enjoyed it. It is a day I would not have thought was possible. He starts to hold out his fist to Dave, who after a pause bumps it with his own. He must know too. He turns away. Everything Dirk is saying feels forced to you. He's trying to convince himself as much as he is you. Still, you know you've lost. And I have you to thank for it. I'd go so far as to consider you my friend, even. And if you frame your relative success or failure on having formed a friendship, you can call this a good end. But he trails off, turning to walk towards Ultimate Dirk. As much fun as this was, this is me we're talking about here. There's no contest. I have to know. It was always going to be you and me, Dirk. The two of them stand side by side, twin smirks on their faces. Dirk's is almost believable. Goodbye. You curl up into yourself, a hunched ball on a tall tower on a single apartment in the middle of the sea. Your brain disconnects them from the sounds of the conversation, of Ultimate Dirk's likely victory monologue, the static of their exit. You cry into the shitty little stick hands because you thought you had this one, and somehow it feels weightier than the loss of just one friend. You feel like something bigger and more beautiful than you thought possible was at your fingertips, and now it's gone. You come back to reality at the warmth of Dave's hand on your shoulder as he crouches down next to you. His voice is thick with tears. You didn't even help him through crying. Hey, bro, I'm sorry. I don't know how much longer I can chill here. Like, emotionally. Can you take me home? Abandoned at sea. Oh. Well, there's no epilogue here, so we must have to get the other route. It must be different. Although I'd expect the bottom choice is to say, Dirk, this is my free will, I'm trusting myself. This is the fake one. Oh, there's no fast forward through the... Oh yeah, there is. Okay. I'm expecting this to be the same. The Dirk to say, no, I trust other Dirk. But if there is an epilogue... They said there is an epilogue, right? They said in the news post that there'd be one. Okay. I don't know. Sorry, man. Your heart drops, then you see who he's looking at. Guess you can call this one the bad end, yeah? Luckily for you, there's almost definitely another of me that you can't wait to sell the 7 Seas of story with you or some shit. He licks his lips and raises his chin, braced for Ultimate Dirk to challenge his call. I assume with your huge brain, you can see that happening as we speak, yes? So no need to be a sore loser now. Be good to me, will ya? Treat him alright? As right as he wants to, I promise. Anyway, I did say 1 in a million odds, so statistically you have to wuss out at least once. It's fucking gross to experience. Good thing it'll be getting totally assimilated into the other versions of this conversation. Now, it's not really the time to play the it's actually just usually just a binary card. Don't want to complicate that particular issue for him, so you let it slide. You step forward, shoulder brushing Dirk's. Don't gloat, that's gauche. Enjoy your moment of irrelevance before this all goes down the drain. Deuces. Yes, hell yes. You stop your celebration when you notice that Dirk is a little shaky. Holy shit, what did I just do? The future you have in the works better be fucking good, my dude. Are you kidding me? They got it on lock. Oh, he knows it. You don't tell him you don't know every single detail yet, but you understand yourself now. You'll work it out when you need to. You always do. It's okay, you think, if Dirk is a little afraid. It comes with the territory when you let people in, and you'll have even more practice with that as soon as you can zap up some more company. It won't be smooth sailing, though, you warn him. As long as we move past the sailing metaphor, you can jack that difficulty level up as high as you want. Oh, are we anti-ocean here? Oh yeah, extremely. Fuck water, am I right? Dirk turns his head slightly, and you know he's looking at you. He smiles, and you know he gets it. It's not about this being the real timeline, or the fake one, the hard one, or the easy one. It's about being his. If he wants it. Which, you realize as you watch him turn back to laugh along with Dave, he does. Victory! Oh, look at that! Dirk didn't kill himself. I'm about to hit the mouse button. I know something's gonna happen. Oh, called it! Called it! Called it! Called it! Called it! The air between you and the two of them opens up like a wound in the universe, and you feel yourself being pulled toward it. Wow, look, there's the actual code for this ending. I've data mined code before, so I know that's Renpai. That's great. You see him in there too, that fucking bastard! As Ultimate Dirk pulls you what you can only conceptualize as a tear in the narrative, you turn to look at Dirk and Dave. This is sure to lead to some bullshit, but you need to confirm that they're still intact. You aren't sure where you're going next. You don't want them to worry. As the hole starts to reseal itself with them on the other side, you give them a thumbs up, the universal sign of reassurance that things are okay. You'll be back. I'll be back. They're doing a Terminator 2 reference this time. Neither of them are strangers to either of the intricacies of plot or shenanigans, so they return it in unison. You did it. You got him a good end. Dirk Strider is your friend, you think, as you fall through nothingness. Dave can take it from here. Guess that sword isn't just for show. He really knows how to use it. You go flying out of frame, out of this volume, straight into the epilogue. No, not the epilogue. God, this is impossible. You can't believe you're the main character of such a stupid story. He launches you into the post-game final chapter. He launches you straight into... Wait, afterward? Both of them look weird. Anyway, he launches you into the afterward, which seems to be just drifting gray space between the universes. But this time you aren't standing in the corridor. You are hurtling along it like a protagonist-shaped missile. This is not going to end well. Sorry, T-posing god person, this really isn't your fault. Actually, that's an A-pose. Aw, thanks, Dirk. Common mistake. Just trying to help. Thanks, Dirk. Dirk is a 3D modeler nerd. You brace for whatever hellish experience is waiting for you when you hit the event horizon. What? Wow, that's a face. Your whole body aches. Not physically, more thematically. Like you were just bitch slapped straight into the meta-narrative and bodied back to the beginning. Oh shit, are you literally at the beginning? Did you forget everything again? Quick, hemospectum, troll, incestuous slurry, Beckroll, fucking madrigogs, truth, relevance, sexuality. You remember. So here you are again. You guys, that makes sense that Doc Scratch was behind it all in the end. Maybe he and Ultimate Dirk have been working together this whole time. Hey, you round, shiny son of a... Show yourself. You receive no response. The plush green room is still, and in the corner, the clock has stopped. What was that? Oh, it's Ali? The sound of... Are we gonna get a Lord English sprite? The sound of a struggle drifts from deeper in the house. Oh, balls. Is Spade Slick here to beat Doc Scratch? But you thought that happened at the beginning of the game. Maybe you were really transported back to square one. But nothing's on fire. Spade Slick sets the place on fire, right? Why do so many things happen in this comic? There's just so many details to remember. You follow the sound of the ruckus, turning a corner down a long wood-paneled hallway. A door stands open at the end of it, where two people appear to be locked in an intense struggle. What? Okay, wait, where are we going? Let me try to call it. Are we gonna see Hussy playing with Scratch like a puppet? Or are we gonna see Doc and Handmaid dueling it out? Oh, it's Hussy. Hey, listen, we can talk about this. You edge closer down the corridor. The mirrors on the walls watch your eyes. Clearly, I've made some bad decisions. I'll grant you that. The man currently hanging onto the door jamb for dear life sounds and looks familiar, but you're actually kind of having a hard time focusing on him. It makes your head swim. Okay, yes, I agree that I need to take a break, but please don't put me in here with that wolf head. It's out of my blood. I don't know if I can hold it off for so long. The second figure, a woman, maybe? Oh my god. Wait. Is this Kate and Dirk? Kate and Andrew? Is this Kate with Andrew Hussey on a leash? Are we leaning full into it? Andrew Hussey, it's 3 a.m. It's time. Appears unmoved by the man's pleas. You have no idea what's going on in here, but one thing you know is that you can't allow random broads to throw dudes into rooms against their will. Hey, you shout down the corridor. Both the man and the woman turn and look at you. The combined power of their gaze forces you to your knees. It hits you in the same tender place the ultimate Dirk strike had, right in the narrative. The woman takes the chance to shove the man into the room and slam the door.
He won't bother us anymore.
It's Aisha! It's Aisha, and she's voice acted. And she has, oh my god. T. So Hussy was the A pose, and Aisha's the T pose. The sound of her voice vibrates all the way into your skull. Aisha did mention doing voice acting for a project, but we all assumed it was for her radio drama that's starting up sometime this year. It's her. She's the one who's been doing this to you, who's been stopping you from going back to visit your friends, who's been manipulating you, just like Doc Scratch did.
Come on. I'm not that bad. At least I hope I'm not. By the way, unmute me if you haven't bothered to already.
I gotta turn up the volume.
The music in this section rules. Besides, voiceover and Renpy
Renpy.
Did you know you have to save every line as a different .ogg file? I didn't even know what a .ogg file was until our programmer explained it to me. Actually, wow, this is a huge pain in the ass. Let's go back to text only.
That's better. You're falling to pieces. Every part of your body is literally sliding apart and falling into the others. It's just like being hit with the house juju. Your corporeal form is not meant for this much meta-narrative bullshit. You just aren't made for it. Come on, you're fine. How do I do an Aisha voice? It's Aisha! I've talked to her. She's a real human being. She paps you on the cheek, and suddenly, it's true. You're fine. She made it so. She must be magic. Not quite. Get up, King. You do slowly. For some unexplicable reason, you are more scared of her than you've been of Ultimate Dirk. Or of Doc Scratch, or of anyone else. You have a feeling that she might be the real danger here. She laughs. It's not a villainous laugh, but it's not exactly a nice one either. I guess that's fair. I'm definitely not a hero. Or maybe I am a hero, and the dude I just shoved into the cupboard with the wolf head's the real villain. Or it's the other way around, and evil has triumphed. You tell her you don't remember from the comic you read. Yeah, you wouldn't. Don't worry about it. You can call me the Director. And you're right, all of this is my fault. All of this? Yeah, I'm the reason you couldn't reach your friends, and I'm the reason your memories got wiped. What? Why? Why would you do that? Because I wanted to try something. It wouldn't have worked if you'd gone in with an open mind. Could you really have made friends with any of these kids if you had already known that they had waiting for them at the end of the line? Your snap response is an overwhelming, yes, of course you could. You can make friends with anyone, but you know deep down that isn't true. Could you really have looked at John in the eye if you knew you'd seen him get bored by a video game monster and then lose his virginity in the back of his dad's car before literally dying? Could you have talked to Jade like a normal person if you knew she was going to grow up to be a half-dog goddess? Could you have resisted throwing Rose and Kanaya together the first chance you got? Could you have even handled becoming friends with Equius, Nepeta, or Fefre knowing what was coming for them? God, could you have stood to be in the same room as Gamzee or Eridan? Right? Making friends with people when we know how their story ends isn't something we're equipped to do. It's like meeting a celebrity. It's hard to be normal. You tell the director you don't think any of this is very normal. She laughs. Yeah, you're smart. That's why I like you, MSPA reader. Whoa, that's not your name. Your name is... Hey, come on. Leave something for the sequel. The truth is I used you, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm also not sorry. Because these kids were born to suffer. That's what they're for. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Destiny wrapped its thick, inky tentacles around them and pulled them into a story without happy endings. But you changed that. You gave them a chance to grow up. Wait, you did that? But you remember the other story, the real story. The one that just ended with everything falling to shit. Are you saying all that didn't happen? No, it happened. Well, it didn't actually happen, because none of this is happening. Creators all the way down and such like. But you made this story, and nobody can take that away from you. Oh my god, shut up. I can't handle this anymore. The director looks for the first time just a little bit worried. She covers it up quickly, however, and regains her placid stance of neutral indifference. You want a real villain? This guy right here? This is so stupid, even for all you. I'm aware of that. Oh, how dare you? You're gonna lecture me on audacity? Oh, come on, man. You're not even real. And yet, you keep talking to me. Wow, you feel like you shouldn't be here for this, possibly? You feel like it's kind of awkward when authority figures fight. I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Weren't you done talking? We weren't done talking. Then why did you cut the UI in half? I got a little overzealous. It happens. Sorry about that, by the way. You shrug. Whatever. You've had worse. Still, you don't feel very well disposed towards this guy at this point, knowing all the garbage he's done and will probably keep doing it. Although you aren't sure if the director's any better. I'm much, much better than him.
See what I can do? Can Dirk Strider do this? Can he talk with an actual human voice?
No. See? Come on, you're at least a little happy to see me. Stop flexing at me. I have a wife. For a man so devoted to swords, don't you think it's going against your character to have such enormous guns? What, these? Oh, they're not mine, just an artifact of the medium. I'd say thanks, but I feel like you all got more out of it than me. Stop flirting with my audience, you anime ass. Hey, you're in charge. I wouldn't look like this if you didn't want me to. I actually let the artists have a lot of creative license. Nice evasion. Shut up. Okay, this bullshit doesn't matter. What does matter is that you, he redirects his anime gaze back to you. This isn't just about Dirk anymore. You're zapping around ruining everything. I seriously can't even begin to unravel the utter saccharine shit pile you've created. You have absolutely decimated everyone's care. How long is this? Oh my god, we're over an hour. Character arcs and motivation. Seriously, Eridan got a gender arc? Come on, man. There's actually plenty of seating for that storyline in the comic proper. Eridan's relationship to femininity is actually really... Do you realize what you've done here? You've completely stolen their destinies from them. You guess you did, but now that you've got a chance to be actual teenagers and grow up in a world that isn't trying to murder them constantly, well, Alternia is still doing that, but at least they won't be in a hostile video game environment. You've ruined them. But they're happy! Happy people don't get stories told about them. That isn't true. That can't be true. Look to the director for help. Surely she knows what to say. After all, this happened on her watch. She isn't looking at you. She's looking at the ground. She knew what she was doing this whole time. She knew how it would have to shake out. When were you planning to tell them? I was getting there. She knows that the prince knows what he's talking about. Nobody has thought more causation and narrative flow than he has. You shake your head. For a moment there, it felt like things got a little screwy. Hey! She claps her hands in Ultimate Dirk's face. Cut that out. Leave them alone. Then stop wasting my time. She sighs. Fine. She appears to gather herself, folding her hands in front of her like she's about to recite a poem. This has been a really interesting experiment, and I'm glad we all got to do it. I've definitely learned a lot. But look, I need you to go back and give that beta to John. Because without that, they never play the game, the story never gets told. You never read the story, you were never here. Wait. Isn't that just another timeline, a Doom timeline or whatever? Director shakes her head. No, it's a retcon. What you'd be doing here would be turning the Alpha timeline into a Doomed timeline. And since the story has technically ended and started again, then ended and started again so many times, switching tracks at this point would corrupt it beyond recognition. You would certainly cause a paradox so catastrophic that it would literally tear the multiverse apart. You mean like the Scratch? Worse than the Scratch. This would be the Blackout. That was perfect timing on the Caliborn enter there. Utter ruin. But wait, you already threw the beta in the sewer. Shouldn't this have happened? This utter ruin? No, because you still have the power to go back and change it. If you decide not to act, then we have to worry. You look back and forth between Ultimate Dirk and the director, trying to find out some indication that they're messing with you. They don't seem to like each other much, but they do seem to appear to be joined in their insistence that this utter ruin shit is gonna happen. Why did I censor this for... It's gonna happen unless you betray all your friends. Unravel everything you did here. What was the point of doing any of this if you were here always just going to have to lose it all in the end? The director shrugs. What's the point of doing anything? What's the point of living if we know that it's going to end in death? Why do we open up a book if we know we'll have to close it? Yeah, that's what you're asking. You don't just want more questions, god damn it. I'm sorry. I don't have any answers for you. Just an option screen. Don't betray friends. So the game crashed. It's just gone. So that's it. The don't betray your friends is the Undertale or Stanley Parable style, just don't turn the game on again. And you have to betray your friends because as the player of the game, we want to see all the content. So we will hurt people and cause horrible, horrible pain just to see all the content. Betray your friends. Fine. You know what? Fuck both of you. They'll do it, but also, fuck you. That's fair. Thank you for being reasonable. Get out of my video game. I don't think I will. I'm gonna stick around and watch everything you tried to do here get flushed down the toilet of bad spin-offs. The director takes a step towards him. They aren't fighting exactly, but they're doing something. You have the distinct impression of two people fighting over a pen or elbowing each other out of the way in order to type at a keyboard. That's the Ouija and the Carcat Terezi fight. You are feeling a little dizzy again. Andrew Hussey would never do this to me. There it is. The director takes a long, tired breath. Sorry about that. Where were we? You turn away from her. You don't want to talk to her anymore. You just don't want to get this. You just want to get this over with. I get that. Oh, sorry. I get that. I'll let you be alone. I'm sorry, kid. The director fades slowly until it's like she was never there at all. But the horror, the pit of the ice that opened up in your belly, that's still there, and it will never go away. Once you consign all your friends to a hero's journey full of pain and heartache, what will happen to you? Will you just vanish? Will whatever iteration of you that was created for the story just cease to be? When the book is closed, what will you be? Zap. The mailbox is here. It's all full. The little flappy dealie is up and everything. With difficulty, you pull the beta out, scattering the rest of the mail across the yard. Bills and coupon books. Get a job. Up in the house, you see a friendly face looking down at you. You take a deep breath. Oh, I'm doing it again. Put the beta back. We have to keep going or else it's going to crash every time. Put the beta back in the box. The streets are empty. Wind skims the voids, cutting neighbors apart, as if grazing the hollow of a cut reed or, say, a plundered mailbox. A familiar note is produced. It's the one Desolation plays to keep its instrument in tune. You have a feeling it's going to be a long day. Okay. Yeah, I forgot there's a manual save, but we can go back and see if the other one, it probably just crashes the game. That's the end. That's amazing. That was Aisha just directly calling out the people who are like, yeah, this is terrible. This is not what Andrew Hussey would make. Make Andrew Hussey write it. He'll write better. Oh, I hit the wrong button. It's the most literal representation of the Discord versus Twitter arguments we've gotten. See, Check, you hear me vent to you about how I put everything on 10 layers of meta-narrative, that I pick apart things because they're talking about me in the story, but what is this? What is this? Betray your friends, just throw the bait in the sewer. Yeah, it just crashes the game. That's the end of Pesterquest. Let's check the credits and achievements and stuff. Is there not an epilogue button? The first game you got an epilogue button when you unlocked it. But it's just part of Dirk's route. Chumroll. The note oh here, wow, there's a lot of achievements for this route. You're gonna have to befriend me. Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me that believes in you, Dirk. Director's cut. You've learned the wrong way to spell afterward. Afterward? Whatever. After whatever. No quitters here. You were so determined not to betray your friends. You also smashed out of that fast forward button. Yes. The note Desolation plays. You have a feeling it's going to be a long day. And Savior of the Waking World. Discover the true ending. What is no doubles? Why don't I have that achievement? Does anyone know what this achievement is? Go back and click on MSPA Reader. Where? In here? Click this? Or like we go all the way to the end of the epilogue and click on him with the choice. After betraying. Now I feel like a real streamer. The people are like, you missed under the crib. Look under crib. North left. Under crib. I'm gonna save with the next one so I don't have to do this again. I forgot this game even has a save function. Betray your friends. And then we're gonna skip ahead manually to this. Oh! Look at that! Check the bathroom, Joel! Wait, hold the phone. Who is in charge of the story? Not Ultimate Dirk, not the director, certainly not the guy who got shoved into a room with a wolf head. It's you. It's always been you. Why are you just doing what they told you to? There has to be a third option. There's always a third option. When the scratch happened, everything should have been erased. Everything was erased. Except it wasn't, because someone intervened. Jade drew all of her friends close to her and kept them safe. She saved them. The first time you tried to bring Jade with you when you teleported, Beck didn't let you. But then later he did. Jade told you that he'd been just acting like a normal dog. Jade told you that the God Cat had just been acting like a normal good little kitty, almost like their powers were gone. Oh, you get Vriska's Flarp route. Okay, that's the no doubles. I forgot about that route. It had crazy amount of stuff. You pace in a quick circle, then you hear Dad's car pulling up from behind you. Zap out of there before you can get caught again. Howard, Dave. You still got the beta clutched in your hand, but you're alone on Dave's roof underneath. This is good, because the reason I didn't expect something like this and was ready to turn the stream off was because the Aisha's speech, it pretty much is their beliefs. That's what Aisha believes, that she is in control of the story, that she's going to yell all these Twitter randos, even though the message of Homestuck is the beyond canon. It's the make your own path. Canon means nothing. You can profit off your own fan venture. So I'm glad that they put that in here to win against their own thoughts, that the beyond canon thing is all just a joke. Thanks Cyborg for the follow. You've still got the beta clutched in your hand, but you're not alone on Dave's roof underneath the blazing Houston sun. Nobody's gonna bother you up here. There's something that's teasing just at the edge of your understanding. If you could only reach it, you need help. You need someone who knows about weird shit. Like a lock clinking in your brain, you understand what you have to do. Where are we going? Aradia! Oh, it hit. Oh, it's you! How's it going? You look a little tired. You ask Aradia if she's been watching recently, if she knows what's going down in your part of the neighborhood. She shakes her head. I lost track of you when you hopped universes. I'm about to try to get myself out of canon for good, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I've been trying to conserve my energy. Oh, right, yeah, you knew about that. She raises an eyebrow. Don't worry about that, actually. You know, some lore is all. You might have seen what's gonna happen to Aradia next. Actually, she doesn't have too much to worry about. She and Socks are fine. Actually, they're probably more fine than almost everyone else. That's good to know, I guess. So did you figure out what was going on with your friend's situation? Yeah, you tell Aradia what's been going on with your friend's situation. Wow. Yeah. And you're going to do it? You're going to erase this timeline? Because if you are, then no offense, I might head out of canon a little early. That's just the thing. You think you might have a plan? Oh? You tell her the plan. Does she think it'll work? A slow, brilliant smile paints a sunrise across her face. I have no idea, but I'd love to watch. Zap. The green sun. Oh, hold up. The green sun spreads out below you like a giant radioactive gumball that absolutely wants to tear you into a million greasy pieces. You can feel it tugging at all your organs, twisting up all the words inside you, making a mess of the themes, dragging motifs, screaming to the surface. This is the single largest source of raw narrative mass in the multiverse, and it should be killing you. This is new. The black hole has always been tied to narrative relevance and the loss of it. So, going back and giving the green sun narrative relevancy properties that's a really cool change, and might lead to some interesting takes on Cascade. Do you actually need me to do anything? You sort of just wanted to vibe here with you in case you die. You don't want to die alone. That's fair. Hey, if you die, I'll pick up your bones for you. Thanks, Aradia. She smiles. See you on the other side, you say. You're not sure who you're talking to. Your guess is going to be pretty bad. Zap. It's not bad. It's not pain exactly. Because when you are inside the green sun, you don't think you have nerve endings anymore. You're just a consciousness floating in the miasma of causation. You aren't sure how this is supposed to work. Should you maybe start thinking about your friends like you're in the animes, drawing strength from the power of your social links? Aw, you think about John and Rose, and your good friend Dave? What? Thinking too much hurts. You aren't going to be able to count on anime cliches for this one, you guess. They don't think about your friends. For once, you think about yourself. The impossibility that is you, protagonist, reader, carrier of the story. Maybe not every story, but this one. You've been erased so many times. You look across the rise and fall of the story and See just how many mistakes you've made? All the times you've broken your friend's trust or betrayed them or, hell, even killed them. You reach across to all of those yous, your what-ifs, your do-overs. You let the blazing energy overtake you. You open yourself up, and everything goes to black. Green. And you better be on your best behavior, Orphaner, if this partnership is going to work out. Forget this guy, Vriska! We can do this ourselves! Could you at least give me a chance to respond to a couple of... Well, what's a that? Pounce, come here, kitty kitty, I'm home. Nabita, this cave is far too small for someone with a height as strong as mine. Pounce? Aqueous, what's that? Anyway, that's why I don't eat corn dogs anymore. What the fuck? Is this a normal future thing? Earthquakes? I guess that's a normal whatever thing, but we don't get them much in Houston. I don't think that's an earthquake. Autoresponder. No... Gotta go back to my critical voice. No seismic activity detected in the area. So you're telling me I wrote this in another history? Yes, as far as I am aware. Incredible. It's very boring. I think it's brilliant. I mean... The green sun pulses around your slowly collapsing being, and you feel it subsume you. You feel yourself unspooling, swallowed in light. You think of how you came to be, where you are right now, and the choices you made along that path. What are the odds that the you that prevailed is this one? It's probably something that could have been mathed out, but you're too busy eating the fucking sun with your whole body to figure it out. Instead, you sink into the feeling of connections that hold you together. The bonds you created are threaded through your arms and your belly and your heart. Your body is nothing, consumed by flame. And yet, you feel yourself start to become. Zap. The mail goes in the box. Okay, get ready. This is the best part of the movie. All the classic memes come from this part. John, every part of this movie is hot trash. Oh, it's not that bad. I want to see the guy put the bunny back in the box. This movie is so bad that the drones are approaching your neighborhood. It's too late for the human race. Darkness sees at this timeline, and in the distance you hear what might be cracks, splinters through space-time. Reality is compressing and falling apart around you in a cacophony of breaking glass. All of your friends, all of their dreams, rendered away to nothing. All of it unraveling. No. No. It doesn't disappear. I don't let it. I am bigger than this story, but I am also inside the story. So I gather it up and I keep it close to me, and as soon as I remove it from causation, it's like it never happened. I take the timeline and I lock it away. That's what it is. It is a locked timeline, and I am its guardian. Its first guardian. Thanks for playing. There's the real ending. MSPA Reader traps all of Pesterquest in its own little pocket dimension where it can't ever be hurt. The Malik hoodie stays. He didn't bring any of his friends, sad. But I guess Joey has to meet them still. And now we have an actual final achievement. Savior of the waking world. You rescue your friends from a very long day. My voices were good, thank you. That was a nice little recollection of all the voices I've done throughout the series. There was no Gamzee, and I guess they couldn't fit everyone in the recap, but there was no Gamzee. So I'm just gonna do my Gamzee voice as we leave the ending here. Oh, we're gonna view the credits. Executive producers, Andrew Hussey, Cindy Dominguez, produced by Julian Dominguez, director Aisha Ufera. Director, that's a loaded phrase now. Writers. Oh, Afterward it's called, with an at. Aisha wrote it. Dirk was written by Lalo. Dirk's character artist was Gina. Dirk's background was Courtney. The Dirk and Afterward illustrations were Courtney. Here's the songs. Da da da. Chaos audio. This is like, what was it? This is like, what was it? Sound MSP. Is it supposed to, is Chaos audio? Is it is that an Undertale joke? Or Deltarune? Afterward theme is Normal Song Name. Those are both Toby Fox. Ultimate Dirk song theme is Beat Up by Clark Powell and Astro Kid. Dirk's theme was Stress by Toby Fox. And Dirk's theme 2 was Unite Synchronization by Malcolm Brown. Game design for this one was by Adelaide Killigan. I guess that's everything, huh? We can view the let's view the warnings for that chapter, because that was a lot. Discussion of suicide, that's it. Anything changed here? No, it still didn't give me a fast epilogue replay button. Or afterward. So, I still have time because my family just went to take my brother to work. So I'm gonna data mine one last bit here. And this is the last data mine. Or it should be. I haven't done a lot of it on stream. Now that we've gotten all the routes out, I'll look into making a data mine summary video. The team wasn't really kind to me for randomly posting data mine stuff as it went along. But now that it's over, I think I can do it in a more professional manner. Oh, Reader's theme is the last song. It's called Embittered Shore. Huh. So we're going to copy this, open this, make a new folder. You guys can't see this yet, but I'll give you a view in a second. 15 Dirk. There we go. So I'm going to turn off window capture, turn on display, but I'm going to switch to the second display, so there we go. Lidl. Let me grab things here. Boop. Here's the archive. Joel saw it. Oh, Joel saw my art. Yeah. Did he stream again? I don't know if he streamed. If he streamed, I totally missed it. I must have been asleep. There we go. The Homestuck dump truck. Here's everything that goes by in the Homestuck dump truck. What have we got? We got Sweet Bro. Oh, there's a WebM. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's the John. Okay, that's cool. We got John in the bathtub. We go back to biology. Vriska's death scene in the cage. Some good art pieces. That's some good art. Oh, Dave talking to Obama. What is this one? Gamzee and Jane. Ugh. Sound awake, but Tavros land already there. Sean rise up and something else weird. What else is weird? What's messing? Oh, it's gifts. Who's hungry for meat? Never let you break my heart again. I do have to be stopped. Yep. This one. They didn't use the alternate version where they're kissing. Very sad. Although, no, I don't know if this is the height difference one. I think it's more, the height difference is more obvious in the height difference one. Of course, homie pals. Glitch effects. There sure are some glitch effects. Afterward. Oh, Afterward has a lot of stuff. Look at this. Thick white card and thin white card. Oh, for it slashing open. All the T-poses. This code.png. Yep, that sure is the code for the section it appears in. Very meta. There's the reader piece that breaks off. Wall. Okay, yeah. Miss Peer Reader, get it together button. There's the Alt Dirk sprites. Oh, look at him. Ooh. Sketches. Here's all the sketches. Aww. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, the lineless one looks great. And there's the sketch versions. That's cool. That's cool. So hot, yeah. Oh, yeah. Finally got a hotter character than Malik. Memories. Oh, this was from another chapter. Here's the achievements. And anything interesting in here? Here's all the Dirk stuff. Backgrounds. We saw all this. Here's the repelling. This is used for one text box. Oh, look how big this game got. Where's Toblerone Gamzee? There's Toblerone Gamzee. So I'm just going to take a quick look in the script. This stuff isn't usually as interesting. But let's take a look. Dave CGT. What does that stand for? Candy God Tier. Okay. Homestuck dump truck. Here's how that works. They just coded each frame to show up for 0.3 seconds. The most hellish mess of image transforms you'll ever see. Wow. Alt Dirk stuff is just hand coded. It's not like a GIF they made. The in card is called See You Space Cowboy. Okay. Doesn't look like there's any other comments. We saw a couple things at the bottom, maybe. Mais en abni. What does that mean? Is that Latin? Let's Google that real quick. Mais en abni. A formal technique of placing a copy of an image within itself, often in a way that's just an infinitely reoccurring sequence. And that appears with the code, when you show the code. And then the afterword actually is a separate file. So I don't know why you can't replay it through a button. Kind of go here, see if there's anything commented out. Oh, that was something. I apologize in advance if you're looking at this hot spaghetti mess. Oh, I'm looking at it. There's a lot of weird position stuff there. And that's all. That's all the data mining. So, Pesterquest is now over. I hope that come 4/13, they'll be revealing a new spin-off of some kind. Maybe something new, maybe not a visual novel, that'd be nice, or a visual novel that's very different. We've had 2 of these now. We've been going a couple years on the visual novel. Yeah, it's a seamless transition. Yeah, I'll still try to find something to stream. There's Homestuck fan games, there's Vast Error, with the quarantine, we're not in the best streaming environment right now. But I'll be around on Homestuck info doing stuff. I've changed my approach to running that. It's less news on Homestuck and more Homestuck on news. But I still keep track of all of Viz Media stuff. They've been messing with the Homestuck site again, not in good ways. Half-Swap 2 news. That would also be great. Half-Swap 2 is still supposed to be this year. They released that whole trailer for it late last year, but it's been 3 years since Act 1, so can't get your hopes up too high. There is a Homestuck 2 update tomorrow. Those are way too short to stream. They're like 10-minute reads, but you should all stay up to date on that because it's getting really good and might tie into this now because we still didn't get the reveal of what Dirk's species on Deltritus was, so that will be in Homestuck proper. What else is there? There's a viral medium. Oh, you're saying, well, if I was Aisha, the next step would be a Homestuck audio drama. That's absolutely what I would do. But we'll see. What is Viz doing now? Viz, they removed the advertisement on the desktop homepage, but now every single page on mobile has a banner ad across the bottom. It's horrible. It blocks the comic, and it ruins the page layout. And there's still no Book 7 announcement, but I did finally listen to some PGen Pod, and on PGen Pod of all places, they said that Hussey was still writing commentary for books, so there must be a book at some point. So yeah, I'll see you around. Follow me here on Twitch, SkyPlayer37, or what you should just do is follow Homestuck_info on Twitter. That's where I put everything out there. Give me a follow here if you wanna. We'll do whatever. I have a Patreon. Oh, that reminds me. Oh god, I'm falling apart. I didn't announce my Patreon to people at the beginning of the stream, so I'll now do it at the end here. Let me bring up their list real quick so I know they haven't changed. I should have had this ready. My Patreons currently are cyberKinetist, Elizabeth Gotski, and takenUsername. They are helping support this not even this channel, but this whole site. Homestuck.info is still being hosted on a VPS out of my own pocket, and they are paying for it, basically. If you want to support and keep my website up, because I don't have a job, and with the quarantine right now, I don't know how I'm going to get one, so Homestuck info might go away for a little while if things go south. But no big deal. Support the Homestuck 2 people before me. They're actually making things. I do some art sketches sometimes and give people the work files. That's all I've got for people. Have a good day. I'll see you as soon as there's another Homestuck thing. Peace.